us bow our heads and put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today. May you bestow your guidance and blessings so that we can enjoy and appreciate its significance in our lives. Bless everyone who are present here today, that each one of us may be able to share our knowledge, understanding, and wisdom for your glory and honor. May the various activities related to this event be a success through your intervention. We all ask of this in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Through the dreadful darkness, we shall meet the light and lead the path to wisdom. Our will to be our might to those in pain and suffering. We shall heed their call. Bring us to care and comfort, compassion above all, to face a brighter future, bound in unity. The Philippine College of Physicians, we shall be. Hand in hand, building our stronger nation,
Panatang Karangalan ng PCP. Bilang isang tapat na manggagamot PCP, ipinapangako ko na magpapamalas ako ng kabutihan at katapatan sa isip, sa salita at sa gawa. Pangangalagaan ko ang dignidad ng aking propesyon sa lahat ng pagkakataon. Gagalangin ko ang mga kapwa ko manggagamot, kapwa manggagawang pangkalusugan, at iba pang may kinalaman sa aking gawain. Sa wastong pamamaraan lamang ako makikitungo sa mga sanay o industriyang pangkalusugan. Hindi ko pagsasamantalahan ang unayang ito at hindi ko ito gagamitin sa pangsariling pakinabang. Paninindigan ko ang katapatan at katotohanan at higit sa lahat, uunahin ko ang kapakanan at kabutihan ng aking mga pasyente sa lahat ng pagkakataon.
Yan. Good morning to our colleagues and fellows and fellow physicians here today. To everyone joining us here in Zoom and Facebook Live, green greetings and meaningful morning to everyone. Welcome to this webinar organized by the Philippine College of Physicians Committee on Climate Change, Environment, and Health. I am Dr. Nino Joselito Doydora, your host for today's webinar. I am a member of the PCP Committee on Climate Change, Environment, and Health. Thank you for taking time out of your busy clinic schedules to be with us today. Your presence already reflects your commitment, not only to patient care, but also to the larger conversation on planetary and public health. Colleagues, today we focus on a topic that sits at the intersection of clinical medicine, preventive health, and environmental stewardship. This is the role of plant-based diets in human health and environmental sustainability. Evidence shows that diet rich in fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains are associated with lower risks of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. Plant-based diets significantly reduce greenhouse emissions, land use, and water consumption compared to animal-based diets, making them a key strategy in mitigating climate change. As physicians, we are uniquely positioned not only to advise our patients on healthy dietary choices, but also to advocate for sustainable practices that benefit both human and planetary health. So, sit back, relax, and learn. To officially open our program and give his welcome remarks, may we call on Regent Champion of the Philippine College of Physicians Committee on Climate Change, Environment and Health, Dr. Ian Homer Y. Kua.
Good day to everyone. On behalf of the Philippine College of Physicians, I warmly welcome you to this webinar organized by the PCP Committee on Climate Change, Environment, and Health chaired by Dr. Sheila May Sonsa. Today's topic, the healing benefits of nature, the role of plant-based diets in human health and environmental sustainability, is both timely and profoundly relevant. As physicians, we are trained to heal individuals, but increasingly, we are called to recognize that human health is inseparable from the health of our environment. Climate change, food system, and life choices are no longer peripheral concerns. They are central determinants of disease prevention and long-term wellness. Plant-based diets offer a compelling intersection between clinical medicine and environmental stewardship. The evidence continues to grow on their benefits for cardiometabolic health, chronic disease prevention, and longevity while also reducing ecological harm. This webinar challenges us not only to understand the science, but to reflect on our role as advocates for sustainable, health-promoting practices within our communities and healthcare system. We are fortunate to have with us today Dr. Elvin Texon, who will share his expertise and insights on this important subject. We also acknowledge Dr. Nino Jeselito Doidora, our moderator, who will guide today's discussion to ensure a meaningful and engaging exchange. I commend the Committee on Climate Change, Environment, and Health for advancing conversations that expand the scope of medical responsibility from the clinic to the planet. May today's learning inspire us to integrate environmental consciousness into patient care, public health, and policy advocacy. Thank you for joining us, and I wish everyone a productive and enlightening webinar.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kua, for graciously opening our webinar. To continue our program, we are honored to be joined by a fellow internist whose work reflects the Philippine College of Physicians' commitment to clinical excellence, preventive care, and responsible advocacy. Our speaker for today is Dr. Elvin R. Texon. He is a general internist and the head of the Department of Internal Medicine at Adventist Medical Center, Valencia, Bukidnon. He earned his Doctor of Medicine degree from the West Visayas State University and completed his internal medicine residency training at the Adventist Medical Center, Manila. Dr. Texon is also the founder and president of the Siloam Valley Institute, Advancing Lifestyle Medicine and Environmental Stewardship through education and community engagement. Dr. Texon is also the owner and founder of plant-based food store and vegetarian restaurant with 2 branches in Bukidnon. This morning, he will share how plant-based diets serve as a clinically sound and sustainable approach to improving patient health amid the growing challenges or changes of climate change. Colleagues, Please join me in welcoming Dr. Elvin R. Texon.
Good day, and thank God for the beautiful day. Thank you to Philippine College of Physicians, particularly the Committee on Climate Change, Environment, and Health for this opportunity. Thank you, Sheila, my good friend and classmate from Iloilo City, and also to Ryan for making this possible, along with Dr. Nino and Dr. Kua. I am presenting a topic that I myself is still learning from, but our learning becomes more meaningful when we share it. This presentation discusses how evidence-based plant-centered nutrition and lifestyle approaches can reduce the burden of chronic disease and environmental harm while supporting long-term human health and stewardship. Genesis 1:29 presents a model of human nutrition at creation in which plant foods were prescribed as the original diet. Genesis 1:29 says, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. Hippocrates, an ancient Greek physician considered to be the father of Western medicine, over 2,000 years ago told his patients, let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. Thomas Edison's most often quoted speculations appeared in an interview with a reporter from St. Louis Post-Dispatch, published on January 1, 1903. He said, the doctor of the future will give little medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, diet, the cause, and prevention of disease. We live in a paradox. Medical science has advanced tremendously, yet chronic diseases continue to rise. Globally and locally, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, cancer, and mental health disorders dominate morbidity and mortality statistics. In the Philippines, non-communicable diseases, also known as lifestyle-related diseases or preventable diseases actually, now account for the majority of deaths, with cardiovascular disease remaining the leading cause. This pattern tells us that while treatment is essential, prevention and root cause correction must be sufficiently addressed. Among all modifiable risk factors, diet consistently emerges as one of the most powerful. Modern dietary patterns, high in refined carbohydrates, ultra-processed foods, excess animal products, sugar, and salt, are associated with chronic low-grade inflammation, insulin resistance, dyslipidemia, and endothelial dysfunction. This is supported by epidemiology, randomized trials, and mechanistic studies. This study provides an overview of how an anti-inflammatory diets such as fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, reduce systemic chronic inflammation and are associated with improved health outcomes, including enhanced well-being, better cardiometabolic markers, and overall physiologic benefits. So here, there's an example about food component, for example, polyphenols, which can be found in extra virgin olive oil, black, green tea, nuts, seeds, legumes, fruits, red wine, but actually it's the redness of the wine that makes it healthy, the resveratrol, vegetables and coffee, with the anti-inflammatory effect, which is to exhibit anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties and have the potential to mitigate blood pressure, lipid profiles, abdominal obesity, blood glucose, and vascular conditions. So, a plant-based diet emphasizes whole plant foods, such as vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. It is not necessarily vegan, and it exists on a spectrum, and even modest shifts toward a predominantly plant-based eating pattern are associated with measurable health benefits. Healthy eating is actually pretty simple. Foods can be divided into three groups. We have the green light, the yellow light, and the red light foods. I will just spend more time on the green light foods for this very short presentation. So let's see how green light foods can transform our health. Green light foods, when you have diabetes or pre-diabetes, just for example, your body is like a house on fire. What you put into your mouth can serve as gasoline or water. Green light foods act like water on the fire, fighting the flames and restoring balance. Green light foods are unprocessed or minimally processed whole plant foods. They are the richest source of many protective nutrients that heal the body in more ways that we can count. Green light foods are full of fiber, which is actually a plant superstar. Fiber is only found in plant foods, none in animal products. Fiber is the carbohydrate in the plants that cannot be absorbed, but we desperately need it. Some may call it the nature's broom because it keeps moving through the gastrointestinal tract, keeping it clean and healthy. But it does more than preventing constipation. It also protects against obesity, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and a variety of gastrointestinal disorders, even though our body cannot absorb fiber. Again, as I said, it desperately needs it. Women need at least 25 grams of fiber per day and men need 38 grams. But the average American only gets 15 grams. Filipino adults need at least 20 to 25 grams of dietary fiber per day, according to the Philippine Dietary Reference Intakes. Research data indicate the average daily fiber intake among Filipino adults is roughly around 7 to 10 grams per day only, much lower than the 20 to 25 grams recommendation. This fiber deficit makes it impossible for the body to fight insulin resistance, for example, and also constipation. The good news is that people who eat a plant-based diet get an average of 40 to 60 grams of fiber per day. How can we get more fiber? By eating green light foods. Let's take a close look at each green light group. First, we have vegetables. Vegetables provide the highest number of nutrients for the fewest number of calories. So it means that vegetables are calorie poor but nutrient dense. They are the richest sources of disease-fighting vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals. Top of the list are the green leafy veggies. A meta-analysis study published in the British Medical Journal surveyed around 200,000 people and found that eating at least a cup and a half of green leafy vegetables each day reduces diabetes risk by 14%. Colorful vegetables are also important. Try to eat a wide variety of non-starchy vegetables each day. They are low in calories and carbs and high in nutrients. Our goal is to at least have around 5 or 6 servings, which include both cooked and raw vegetables. It means one serving is around 1 cup. Starchy vegetables such as potatoes and corn are more calorically dense, so portion control is important for people with high blood sugars. Beans, peas, and lentils are powerful weapons for blood sugar control. A study of over 60,000 women, those who ate most legumes, were 38% less likely to develop type 2 diabetes than those who hardly ate any legumes at all. Legumes also reduce the risk of heart disease, cancer, and premature death. A study published in the Archives of Internal Medicine found that people with type 2 diabetes who ate a cup of legumes each day experienced significant blood sugar improvements within just a few short months. Conclusion from the study published in JAMA on the effects of glycemic control and cardiovascular risk factors in type 2 diabetes show that incorporation of legumes as part of a low glycemic index diet improved glycemic control and reduced calculated coronary heart disease risk score in type 2 diabetes. We'll go to fresh fruits under the green light foods. Fresh fruits is nature's way of satisfying our sweet tooth. It's bursting with nutrients that are powerful enough to boost our immune system, fight disease, and improve our health in many ways. Many people with diabetes have been warned against eating fruit. This is quite a huge mistake because fruit plays a vital role in a healthy diet. It is a much better choice than many processed desserts that have been labeled diabetic friendly. However, it is true that too much fruit can actually spike your blood sugars, especially eating with too many calories to start with. Are you scared of carbohydrates? We should not be scared because not all carbs are created equal. Unrefined whole grains are important for our diet. Their high fiber content prevents them from spiking blood sugars as drastically as refined grains do. Research shows that replacing refined grains with whole grains reduces diabetes risk. Unrefined whole grains are intact grains that have not been processed in any way. They still have the germ, the bran in it. Example includes unpolished brown, black or red rice, wheat or corn. It's important to pay attention to the quality and quantity of carbohydrates eaten. Whole food fats include nuts, seeds, avocados, olives, and whole coconut. These healthy fats are packaged with protective nutrients, but there's a reason why nature provides whole food fats for us. These foods enhance the flavor of our meals. They also maximize the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients, antioxidants, and phytochemicals. However, fat foods are very high in calories, so it's important to control portion sizes. Green light foods have incredible healing potential for your blood sugars, our heart, and every aspect of our health. And so, as physicians, by God's grace, we aim to get 80 to 90% of our calories from green light foods, the foods that we have mentioned earlier. So when it comes to driving and to eating, green means go. Many fad diets include large amounts of protein, especially from meat. How can we make sense of the protein question and make sure to get the right amount? A 2014 study found that people with highest protein intakes had a 5-fold increase in diabetes mortality. High protein intakes were also associated with an increase in cancer death and overall mortality. But what's really interesting is that these mortality associations only apply to animal protein. The disease risk disappeared if the protein was from plants. Excess protein, especially animal protein, is associated with a decline in kidney function. This can be especially harmful for people with diabetes who are already prone to kidney damage. Plant protein is less toxic than animal protein and much better for kidney function. And while animal protein raises cholesterol, plant protein actually lowers it. It's actually fairly easy to get enough protein from a plant-based diet. What we need is about 10 to 15% of calories from protein. Almost all plant foods fall within this range. 20 to 40% of calories in legumes and non-starchy vegetables come from protein. 8 to 17% of calories from grains and nuts and seeds comes from protein. The only foods that consistently fall below the 10% mark are fruits and some vegetables. Rich Roll was an ultra distance athlete who was named one of the 25 fittest men in the world. At age 40, Rich was sedentary and overweight person. But after he adopted a plant-based diet, Rich lost 50 pounds and began his fitness journey. Rich isn't alone. Some athletes who are fueled by plants are Carl Lewis, a former Olympic sprinter who won 9 medals for the US, Dave Scott, who won 6 Ironman World Championships, and Martina Navratilova, one of the greatest tennis players of the 20th century. So we move now to the yellow light foods. Yellow means slow. These foods should be approached with caution. Only a small percentage of our calories should come from these foods. In fact, depending on your health status and food preferences, you may want to avoid some yellow light foods altogether. Red light foods can raise blood sugars, cholesterol, and triglycerides, promote inflammation and weight gain, and significantly increase the risk of disease. Ideally, red light foods should be completely avoided, but if you do choose to eat them, please make sure it's only on a very limited basis. Red light foods includes all this listed on the slides. The strongest evidence for plant-based diet lies in cardiovascular medicine. Large cohort studies and meta-analysis show that with plant-based diet, there is lowered LDL cholesterol, reduced blood pressure, improved endothelial function, reduced incidence of ischemic heart disease. Some intensive lifestyle programs have even demonstrated regression of coronary atherosclerosis. This study shows the association between plant-based diet, atherogenesis, and coronary artery disease prevention. Here it says polyphenols derived from dietary, it says here, polyphenols derived from dietary plant intake have protective effects on vascular endothelial cells, possibly as an antioxidant that prevent oxidation of low-density lipoprotein. Type 2 diabetes is especially relevant in Asian populations, including Filipinos who develop diabetes at lower BMI thresholds. Plant-based dietary patterns are associated with improved insulin sensitivity, lower diabetes incidence, improved glycemic control, even independent of weight loss. This suggests the benefits beyond calorie restriction, including reduced lipotoxicity and inflammation, because of the fiber content of plant-based diet. Plant-based diets are associated with lower risk of certain cancers, particularly colorectal cancer. High fiber intake improves stool transit time, reduces exposure to carcinogens, and increases production of short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which have anti-inflammatory and anti-neoplastic properties. Now let's go to the brain. Mental health is an increasingly important frontier. Diet quality has been linked to depression and anxiety risk. Chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and gut microbiome imbalance all influence brain health. Plant-rich diets high in fiber and phytonutrients support microbiome diversity and may reduce inflammatory burden, complementing conventional mental health care. So I have here some slides from Harvard, but we don't have time. They just this is just to show how our cognitive function is affected by what we eat. So it's because of the buildup of cholesterol plaques in the brain blood vessels that can damage brain tissue, either through small blockages that cause silent strokes or a larger, more catastrophic stroke. Either way, brain cells are deprived of the oxygen-rich blood they need to function normally, which can compromise thinking and memory. So just like the car, our body also needs premium fuel gasoline. So even small amounts of wrong fuel could result in damage to the fuel system, like just your car, and the repair costs are high. So, indeed, our Creator God knows what is best for His beloved children. This study shows that increased consumption of fruits and vegetables is associated with improvements in well-being and happiness. Higher daily servings of fruits and vegetables also correspond to greater life satisfaction. This study was done among 281 young people who were given 7 to 8 servings of fruit and vegetables, and which brought positive mood enhancement that lasts through the next day. It says here, those who had the lowest levels of depression, anxiety, and psychological distress ate the most fruit, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, zinc, potassium, so on and so forth. Higher consumption of soda is associated with higher rates of depression. Human health, as what was mentioned by Dr. Kua, cannot be separated from environmental health. The global food system contributes approximately 30% of greenhouse gas emissions and is a major driver of deforestation, water depletion, and biodiversity loss. The Lancet's EAT Lancet Commission emphasized that the same dietary patterns that promote longevity also actually promote the planetary health. Analysis published in Science and Nature Sustainability demonstrate that plant-based foods require less land, less water, produce fewer greenhouse gas emissions. Thus, dietary change offers a dual solution, improving patient outcomes while protecting ecosystems. Plant-based diet. Why it works? Because it reduces chronic inflammation, improve lipid metabolism, enhance insulin sensitivity, and increase nitric oxide bioavailability, and support a diverse gut microbiome. These mechanisms provide biological plausibility to the clinical outcomes observed. But nutrition alone is not enough. Health is shaped by interacting lifestyle factors, which is why comprehensive lifestyle approaches consistently outperform isolated interventions. Please allow me to bring you to a practical evidence-based framework known as New Start. This was coined by Weimar University in California. New Start simply is a mnemonic. N stands for nutrition, E for exercise, W for water, S for sunlight, T for temperance or self-control, A for air, R for rest, and T, trust in divine power. So, although it originated in a faith-based settings like Weimar University, every component aligns closely with modern lifestyle medicine and preventive cardiology. So among this, it's the nutrition aspect and the exercise which represent the strongest evidence base within New Start. Then so on and so forth. Interestingly, the earliest biblical description of human nutrition emphasizes plant foods. From a medical standpoint, this is noteworthy, not as theology, but because it aligns closely with modern preventive science. It suggests that health may be optimized when we live in harmony with biological design. Well-planned plant-based diets are associated with significantly lower incidence of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and certain cancers, while improving lipid profiles, glycemic control, and inflammatory markers. From an environmental health perspective, plant-forward food systems require fewer natural resources and produce substantially lower greenhouse gas emissions, contributing to reduced pollution and climate-related health risks. I would like to bring you some text from the Word of God because I consider the Bible as a medical book as well. Revelation 21 says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth has passed away." Revelation 21:5 says, "He who was seated on the throne said, 'Behold, I am making all things new.' Then he said, 'Write this down, or for these words are trustworthy and true.'" A renewed world reflects the ultimate restoration of life, health, and harmony when Jesus comes back to this earth. But meanwhile, it is in our hands to make a little heaven here on earth as we follow our Creator God, who is also our Redeemer and our friend. As internists, we are positioned to emphasize lifestyle as first-line prevention, encourage plant-forward, culturally appropriate diets, integrate maybe the New Start principles into patient counseling. And this does not replace medicine. It enhances its effectiveness. Plant-based diets improve cardiometabolic and mental health and support environmental sustainability. The New Start program offers a practical evidence-based framework to apply these lifestyle principles, which are increasingly supported by modern scientific research. To end, it says that healing begins when we live or when we align with design, biological and moral. Healing begins when we live in harmony with the body's natural design and moral principles. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time and for the opportunity. God bless you all.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Texon, for that insightful and eye-opening discussion on the role of plant-based diets in human health and environmental sustainability. We will
Thank you,
now
Doc.
open the floor for questions to our colleagues. Please type in your questions in the Q&A box on your screen. We will try to accommodate as many as we can within the remaining time. So any questions from our 114 participants? So for Dr. Texon, it was mentioned earlier that you have a facility who caters to those individuals who wanted to be enlightened about this plant-based diet in Bukidnon. Can you briefly discuss on the journey of these patients that you catered or cared for in your facility in Bukidnon, Doc?
Doc Nino. Actually, it's also a personal journey for both of us. While new in practice and eating all I want, I developed hypertension. So it was a wake-up call. And when we transferred here in Bukidnon, we were in Region 2 before, and we transferred here. As internists, we do see a lot of patients suffering from chronic diseases, and they keep on coming back to the clinic. And the short time that we can, give some consultations is not enough actually to let them realize what really the root cause of the problem. Now we have to act from cause to effect. So because the symptoms are just the product, but we need to dig deeper. And so that's the time that my wife Diana, we talked, and then we started to plan for a small health food store here in our locality. So we, because of some facilities that we saw in other countries, we were able to get an idea how we can start with this health food store. So we started with the grains, the nuts, the seeds, the legumes, and we repack them so that it will not be too costly for the customer, so they can have it for 100 grams. And during the there's more time for us to talk to them about lifestyle when they visit the store. So that's also part of the activities we have. And also, another thing, we started a lifestyle program here in our campus. It's a 10-day lifestyle program. So it's more on the New Start principles that we teach them. So they are able to still take their medications, but as they improve, we taper them off, as their doctor also advised them. But what is important is the basic principles, what kind of food and the exercise thing, the water intake. Most of them are dehydrated. That's why some of them have migraine headaches, some of them have high blood pressure because of dehydration. So those things we share. Thank you.
So we have a question here, Doc. In the real world, with patients transitioning into the healthy plant-based diet, how do we measure the physiologic progress of improvement? Is the high sensitive C-reactive protein a valid marker of inflammation? Like, is there something or some markers that you monitor among these patients who have shifted into plant-based diet?
I think that's a good point. But here in our locality, I don't really do that to them, but it's more of the outcome. I begin to monitor their blood pressures, their sugars. But again, that is a very important and valuable information to determine the progress of their transition from purely meat-based to plant-based diet.
Any questions? Any more questions from, how about from our Facebook participants? Are there any questions, Rai? For those, Doc, that what do you usually tell if the patients in your care had difficulty in transitioning? Like, some of the patients wanted to express doing this plant-based diet. How long would usually be their orientation or their education part, and how would what are the common challenges that you see among these individuals?
Actually, each person is unique. So there are those who are really, who have they really follow everything and they see the benefits. But again, it really pays to have more time to talk to each one of them, because after all, we only see the tip of the iceberg. Some of them are struggling with mental issues. Some of them, especially those obese, and they have actually like adverse childhood experiences that they use food as their comfort. So again, it's a dynamic and it's multifactorial. But again, the key there is to address the root cause. So again, it depends upon the need of each patient. The 10-day program actually will walk them through how to be able for them to see improvements in a controlled environment. But the problem there now is when they get back home, if they will follow what they have learned. So they need not only the body actually, but also the mind and the spirit, because the decision making is here in our frontal lobes. So unless this is cleared up, they cannot really decide what's best for them.
Okay. So how about our participants? Do you have any questions to our speaker for today, Dr. Alvin? So your facility, doc, they will live in your facility for 10 days. And it's like a course for the patients that they have their everyday routine and they have their
Yes.
everyday, they already paid for it the whole 10 days, doc. It's like a retreat for
Yeah,
those
that's
who
right.
wanted to avail.
That's right.
Okay.
It's very simple program, Doc.
Mhm.
We teach them how to chew their food well, and limit their calories. Then a digestive walk every morning, a time to for meditation and prayer. And some of them have a lot of unforgiveness. That's one thing
Mhm.
that we found out. And when they opened up and they
So it's
they
also like more of counseling aside from
that's right.
the dietary part as well.
That's right.
So any questions? Uh, for the Facebook Live participants, you may probably post your questions and maybe we will get back to you as a PM maybe. So at this point, if there is no question in the last check, here, do we have to undergo formal training on lifestyle medicine? Well, I think this is now your lifestyle medicine group, Doc, will have maybe you can tell us more about lifestyle medicine uh that you're part of.
Actually, lifestyle medicine now is being well known throughout the world. We have the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. It's a very good tool to help us and to um, train us, no, as we begin to adopt this approaches to patient care. But actually, I myself was not trained in lifestyle medicine. So there are a lot of resources now and putting to practice. I need to read more. We need to read more because we're already internists. And so we just supplement it with the readings, scientific studies in the light of all these things. So, but if we have the opportunity, why not? Because it can also motivate us.
I think in the lifestyle medicine, they also had like really subject on clinical nutrition and how to cook, maybe
Exactly.
like that. But
Yes,
in
Doc.
internal medicine, I don't think it's part of our curriculum. I understand there's
That's right.
lifestyle medicine in your mother hospital, the Adventist Medical Center. So I have a classmate in CIM who is also
Mm,
Dr. Bishi. So she's my
yes, yes.
batchmate.
Oh,
So she has encouraged me to train in lifestyle medicine.
mm,
So she's a family physician, and they're really looking great. So
right, right.
they have very good diet and good physique. Okay, any more questions from our participants here on Zoom and at the Facebook Live? So if there is none at this point, we will move on to the awarding of the certificate of appreciation to our speaker. Ay, meron isa pa, Doc. How can we increase, what diet can increase mental health? So I think it is already gone. In general, naman to, Doc, no? From Facebook, right?
Decrease animal products,
Animal products daw, decrease animal products. Okay, so what
nuts,
else?
foods high
Okay,
in tryptophan,
okay,
nuts,
foods in high in tryptophan is better. Okay, thank you very
seeds,
much.
legumes. Yeah.
So we will now move on to the presentation of our certificate of appreciation to our speaker. Okay. The certificate of appreciation is awarded to Dr. Elvin R. Texon for sharing his invaluable knowledge as a speaker of the climate change webinar entitled Healing Benefits of Nature, the Role of Plant-Based Diets in Human Health and Environmental Sustainability. This is held via Zoom at the 4th of February 2026. Signed, Dr. Nemencia Nicodemus, our president, Dr. Regina P. Burba, Head, Cluster of Public Health and Social Responsibility, Dr. Ian Homer Kua, our region champion for PCP Committee on Climate Change, and our chair, Dr. Sheila May P. Sonsa, of the Committee of Climate Change, Environment, and Health. Thank you very much to our speaker and congratulations, Dr. Elvin R. Texon.
Thank you, Dr. Nino and the PCP. God bless you all.
Thank you po. God bless. Once again, to everyone who joined us today, let us continue to be mindful stewards of our health and the environment as well as we move forward. To formally close our program, may we call on the chair of the Philippine College of Physicians Committee on Climate Change, Environment, and Health, Dr. Sheila May P. Sonsa. Doc, for your closing remarks.
Thank you, Nino. Hello. Good morning, everyone, our colleagues and fellow protectors of Mother Earth. It's the second month of 2026, and it is with great pleasure that we have with us our speaker, Dr. Elvin Texon, my beloved classmate, who has helped us in giving the best stuff on how we can lose all the calories that we have gained in the previous holiday season. On behalf of the Committee of Climate Change, Environment, and Health, I would like to thank Dr. Texon for his timely, very impactful, relevant, and informative talk on plant-based diet and how it can help both our health and, of course, our environment, our very own planet Earth. Dr. Texon showed to us that what we eat has an effect on our environment. Indeed, we are all learning, and learning becomes meaningful if we share it, as Elvin said. No? I learned a lot today. Actually, no? Meron palang green light foods. So doon tayo sa Go Green Foods. A journey towards a healthy lifestyle is challenging, and all we need is a new start. Nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, rest, and trust. Thank you so much, Elvin, for these learnings. Marami tayong nalaman this morning. And of course, we would like also to thank our moderator, Dr. Nino Jeselito Doidora, who's also a member of the committee, for effectively moderating today's webinar. As the assigned steward of planet Earth, we have a very important role in keeping the health of our own habitat in optimum shape. So this talk indeed has opened up a lot of learnings and opportunities to help our environment. To our audience in social media, to all the participants of our webinar, and all the members of PCP, we assure you that our committee is committed to continue on disseminating important information about climate change, the health, our planetary health, and the environment, and to live up to our own mantra, to teach, to plant, and to protect. Join us in our next webinar on February 25, in which we will be talking about impacts of climate change in water systems and health. Details of the webinar will be posted soon. Again, thank you for joining us. Let us continue to learn and help improve our own health and the health of our environment. See you on our next webinar. Yinya.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sheila, for your closing remarks. At this point, we are going to have some announcement. Sir, right? So this is our announcement. We have our webinar on climate change impacts on water systems and health on February 25 at 10 a.m. And then we will be posting the details soon. Then the second announcement is related to our annual Congress. This is the pre-Congress at the SMX Convention Center. Our Congress will be on the 3rd to the 6th of May. So this activity on the 3rd of May, you will have to pay 1,000 pesos for this pre-Congress, extra 1,000 pesos and then you choose for the track that you are going to take. So I have already paid for the first track for the gas and glucose track. So I want myself to be reviewed on the insulin part. I'm a pulmonologist, so still I will have to review on the APG. So anyways, please look at your emails. The PCP has emailed us on the details of our annual convention. the registration, and there is an email also on the pre-Congress session. So you can register, pay 1,000, and then this is a limited slot. So there are limited slots, so you can choose if you can look at the slots if it's already filled up or not. So there are 3 possible tracks. Okay. Thank you very much to everyone. And maybe we can have a photo opportunity for everyone still there, so you can open your cameras, and then Sir Ryan of the PCP headquarters would be taking pictures of all of us.
Thank you for the.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Elvin. Thank you,
Bye,
Salamat po.
everyone.
Elves,
Thank you,
God
Sheila.
bless you all. Thank you.
Dr. Texon, meron na
Yeah.
yan. So, perhaps
Kabalo ka sa ako number.